good evening, everyone. This is Gil at Camp Patton Family Compound. With me tonight is Tammy at Rebel Canners and Mark at Chef Tech. And it is time for Monday Night Fireside Chat. And tonight's topic is Christmas canning gifts. So how's everybody doing out there? And okay, I'm not sure we got anybody else rolling in, but I'm going to do the actual roll call welcome. First in was Phelan Klein Wolf, then Walt Rogers, followed by Geeky Gardens, then Kaylin Strain, then Diana 2, Matt Chick Akers is lurking on your side. Let's see, did I say Geeky Gardens? Geeky Gardens is here. It's the Marshmallow Man. Angel's Homestead is here. And I think I got everybody. I'm scrolling back up to make sure I didn't miss anybody.
Yeah, Tammy will have an extra person watching who does not have a YouTube login yet. It's my friend that he literally calls me every Monday at like 8 o'clock. I'm like, dude, you've got to stop. And he's like, well, send me the link. I love watching it. I'm like, okay, fine. So I sent him the link. So he's watching it. I'm gonna get him a login and do it on his phone. So
hey,
he can
if he has a Gmail account, he has a login.
Oh, okay. He does have a Gmail account. So
all he has to do is go to the upper right side of this thing and click, click on it, and it logs him in.
No,
automatically.
I'll do it for him. I'll show him that. I'll put the YouTube app on his phone. He'll be happy.
Yeah. And Lolo and Prepper's in the house. All right, so I got a few pictures for you. Got some ideas. We're going to be doing some of the Mr. Peabody and the Wayback Machine, talking about what we were talking about last year at this time, because we talked about a lot of cool stuff for Christmas gifts for canning wise. And Mother Garden Club just hopped in. All righty, so let's hit what I have here first. Wow, if you do canning, you got jams and stuff and jellies. Oh, people are going to love you if you happen to give them one. And you can say, hey, guess what? I can teach you how to do this too yourself. Share the love.
Yeah, it's much more loving to give jam than it is for me to give those 300 and plus jars of canned potatoes I have.
Depends who you give it to. Depends who you give it to. You may find someone that's a potato lover and they don't like the sweets, and they go, "Oh, I'll take those."
So what you got to do, Tim, is you got to hang out at the supermarket in the canned food aisle where canned potatoes are, and wait for somebody to grab a can. As soon as they grab a can, say, "No, I got a present for you." But then again, if you don't know them, they may not accept a present because I don't know who you are, and I'm not going to eat anything that you just you made.
How will I get my jars back?
Yeah.
I will put a deposit on it.
Oh, okay.
$1 deposit. Bring it back. I'll either give you another jar of food, or I'll give you your $1 back, or whatever.
Tammy, I just had a thought, because you've been talking about this, the having all those, someone giving you those huge amount of potatoes, and you've canned up so many potatoes, you're sick of potatoes. Or last year at this time, take those potatoes and transmute them.
Into what?
Alcohol. Make vodka.
Actually, you give it out as, there you go. You got it, Gil. You worked me. Give them out and call it the Vodka Starter Kit.
With instructions.
But you need more than one jar.
Call
me. I'll sell you the rest.
I have somebody gave me right here to go in my mushroom tincture I'm making.
Is that vodka?
No, it's a little bit stronger than that.
Everclear.
Yeah.
the cheap stuff. Yeah, good stuff.
The stuff they use out in the garage to clean car parts. Aiden is in the house. Aid. So yeah, jam is one of the things you can give it's all done up like this. Before I move on, the other thing we were talking about last year was doing the mixes in a jar, like cookie mix, soup mix. You know, you do the jar up fancy like this, and you know, give it out ready, you know, in powdered dry form for them to make. And there's all sorts of cool little things you can do like that. You know, they got all sorts of potpourri ones, which are really
dehydrated fruit.
about. Then there is the gift basket, or in this case, the gift pot. You get one of the I forget what the name of the pot is called. What the black one with the white speckles in it.
Black, the granite pot, yeah.
Yeah, the granite pots. She's got the Christmas tree lids, to go on there too. Ooh. You're muted, Tammy. There we go.
This was back when Dollar Tree was a $1. They're $1.25 now, but they do come out with these at Dollar Tree for $1.25.
For a jar with a lid?
It's a jar with a lid and a Christmas tree embossed on the jar. And nice. It is food safe.
Yeah. Cool.
Food safe doesn't mean you can can in it.
But for the mixes, like my soup mix, I got 6 of these to give as gifts. I'm actually doing hot cocoa in these. Layered hot cocoa. Special hot cocoa.
Yeah.
Cool. So that picture you got there with the book and the tools and the jars and some stuff, those are awesome for silent auctions for benefits.
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, if you want to throw your little card in there saying if you want it comes with, an hour of instruction time in person, but that's up to the person if they really want to do that.
Comes with one free canning session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, because there's nothing better than they invite them over to watch you can, and you show them how to do it. Then they go do it on their own.
It's a hands-on learning endeavor.
Yeah.
They can peel those potatoes.
There you go. What are we canning? We're canning potatoes. Really cool. How many? 150 pounds. Here's a peeler. This is how we start.
All right, let's move on here. And a real gift basket. And what I liked about this is there's the canning, but this is also pickling because they got this pickling spices, the mustard, and some of the other stuff that you do for pickling. But you got the Sure-Gel. They got different brands canning lids, and they got a little pot and ladle and screen and everything else in it. Or you can just order online the canning supplement and say, hey, here's what you need to go with those jars you got last year or 2 years ago when everybody's freaking out. And you went and got jars because you thought, I need to learn to do this. Well, here's what else you need to do to learn.
Yeah. Here's the toolkit to use on those jars that you never gave back to me. Can your own food.
Yeah.
Richard, that's not directed at you if you're listening.
Yeah. Now, if you're rich, you can give away a real cool Christmas present.
Yeah.
My email link is down in the very bottom, so you can email me for my address, so you can send me one. And they even have the action. You can buy the kit like even at Walmart, where you got everything, including a half dozen jars in the can or everything. You can buy kits like that ready to go.
So you can buy those. Tractor Supply sells those.
Yeah. Susan Galley came in on your side. Hey, Jeremy. So, there's a lot. I think this is the last one I got from this. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to drop that down and bring up the other thing you can give. Hang on. Let me get it here. Bring this up. There we go. The other thing you can do is when people go, I don't know what to do, is you can give canning books. Such as Relishing Life, One Jar at a Time by Tammy McNeil, or Rebel Canner's recipe files.
That's the one I recommend. It has every recipe posted on my Facebook group up to 2023.
That's a lot of recipes.
Not a lot of pictures. All recipes.
Yeah, it's 520 pages of recipes. And then the other one here is the large. This is the large print paperback, and yeah. So, like I said, this is not a how-to book. It is a collection of recipes. So this is for someone who's already canning, so they can become the advanced canner,
or the rebel canner,
or as it says here, where is it? Welcome to the dark side.
Yep.
We have cookies.
Why?
And Diana too has 2 of your cookbooks.
You like it.
Thank you.
And
So bad.
yeah. And then of course, if you want more, instead of typing in Tammy McNeil, you type in all right, we'll go over the hard one. Pressure canning. How to bucks. And see what comes. Got a bunch of these.
It's funny.
Number
I went to
one.
I have a used bookstore in my town that is massive, and they have a warehouse that you can't get into, but you can order books. I went through their collections of just canning books. They hardly have any in stock. It's like those things just do not sit around, especially the used bookstores. Everybody buys them, and they don't care which one it is. They're just gone.
Yeah.
Always make sure you have a ball blue book. So if you, and that USDA one right there, the green one, that one.
Yeah.
That one or the ball blue book, you should always have one of those in your pantry.
And also a pre-1942 ball blue book, which gives you all the real times from back in the day. That way you don't get sorry, you can't can this because there's no time for it.
Well, you can also just print that off. There may be a file somewhere.
Somewhere,
in a Facebook group that people tend to enjoy.
I know I posted my mom's 32 in there a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And
they're not as I mean, they're only like 30 pages. So like at 10 cents a page at the library, that's still.
Yeah. Or you can email me.
Take a picture with your phone and print it.
Yeah.
Hang on. Or you can email me and I can send you this PDF from the 1945 Per Home Canning Cookbook. With the addendum here that the fish times have gone up.
Yes. Yep.
But all the cool thing, all your information, how to, and then recipes and canning times.
And no advertisements except for in the very back, there's like 2 ads.
Yeah. Oh, and this was printed off when World War II was still going on. So, food for victory.
Yeah. Grow your victory garden.
Yeah. But pickling, canning, ketchups, chutneys, relishes. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just looking here. Tomato ketchup. Here it is over on the right-hand page. Yeah. Okay. Back when they weren't quite so possessive of their top secret recipes. People were able to get them and share them. Yeah, there you go. And then the index. And yeah.
There's your advertisement.
There's the advertisement. Yeah.
It's their book, their ad.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, you can get that one for free by emailing. And my email, if you go down to the very bottom of the description, it's down there as well. But yeah, there's all sorts of all things, all things reading now. You don't have to give out just canning. Hang on here. Let me go back to the top here and try water bath, the simple one. How-to books and recipes. Oh, got some of them. The water bath and pressure canning, water bath and pressure canning, water bath and pressure canning. All complete book of home preserving. Oh, well, here's one that's not canning. Complete dehydrator cookbook. Hey, that still makes a great Christmas present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those sunbeams are cheap.
Yeah. So like that, and so let's look at other cool cookbooks and type of stuff you can give out. This will get Mark excited. Freeze drying cookbooks.
Yeah, they're not really cookbooks. Well, sure.
Some of them have recipes for before and after freeze drying.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, here you go, candy.
No. Like I said before, I'll say it again. I didn't buy a freeze dryer to make candy out of candy.
Yeah. So yeah, you got all those, and let's see. Then there's Tammy. What was that book you showed me earlier?
Yes. It's underneath the Red Baron here.
All right.
This one I just got.
Make you big.
Okay, sorry. This one I just got for Christmas myself this year. It's Barbara O'Neill's Natural Remedies, and it has 1,500 of her recipes. I think they exaggerated that as far as how many recipes, but it does go through and explain her rationale for every body system: heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, skin, and how things are. So I'm taking it, and then I've read it, and now I'm going through and adding my notes on different remedies. So like in the back here, I had listened to one of her lectures. This is one of her recipes. So, and that is about $33.
And guess what? It came up number 2 when I just typed in herbal remedy books.
Yeah. She's pretty famous, and she's got a level head on her shoulders. I pretty much have never found something she said I don't agree with. And that coming from a 30-plus year, I don't even want to talk, medical background. I don't want to talk about how long Yeah.
So, well, interesting, the older book, which had 1,200 things in it, is more expensive than the newer one that has 1,500 things in it.
Right, because it's out of print.
Yeah. Well, this one is more explanatory, I think. And then it has 3 or 4 recipes behind every chapter, and it's 3 inches thick. It's not a tiny book by any means.
So just, there are books that specifically go apothecary. And get my tongue untied here. What herbs do I need to take to get my tongue untied?
You need some freeze-dried ice cream in there. It's not cold.
I need some real ice cream. And then I'll throw it in the blender with some real maple syrup and a little bit of raw milk. Make myself a maple milkshake.
I have a Ninja Creamy, and I make ice cream, high-protein ice cream, all the time. Those things are worth every penny. If you like ice cream or protein shakes, I like my protein shakes frozen like ice cream, so they're worth it. I am also I'm going to plug Verner's medicine. If you have a terrible sore throat and cough like me,
What is that?
Verner's.
Hang on, let me.
Make her big. Make her big.
And there she is.
I can't turn it. It's in my hand with a lid on it. There we go. Verner's. This should be in your medicine kit. It is
What
ginger
is that?
ale.
Ginger soda?
Yeah. But it is what they call Michigan medicine.
And red hen just came in on your side, Tammy.
Thank you.
As well as we got Our Treasure Homestead over there, Suzanne Galley, and of course, Mad Chick is over there too, talking with them.
Nice, thank you. I was looking, I could not find a picture on here. There are some hard plastic cases. I was given them for jar transportation. I was given them as I was walking out of the summit. The company gave them to me, and they're really cool. They're a 2-piece, so you cover them and you can carry them and take them places and stuff. But each side, when you flip the top off, you can put jars in the top too, and they carry like 9. So, well, it depends on what size they are, but they have them for pints, quarts, and for the small jelly jars. And I absolutely love those. I wish I could get some more. So that's on my Christmas list too. But I can't find them on Amazon, and I can't think of the name of the company.
When's the summit this year?
June, same second, third week of June. I don't have the date.
What are the days of the week?
It's like always Tuesday, on a Wednesday, Thursday.
Right. So if it's the third week, it's the 18th and 19th.
Probably. Yep. That sounds right, because it was the 16th and 17th last year.
I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen this year. Last year, I couldn't because we had so many people out of my district, I couldn't leave. But this year might be different for me. We'll talk about that in January if it happens. But get all my vacations so I can take it whenever I want. And then my buddy Richard, who's listening, if he's still on here, you better be on here. He's coming with me because he loves that kind of stuff.
That's right.
Plus, I need somebody to camp with that we can eat freeze-dried food the whole time who loves it.
Yeah, you're going to have to bring your freeze-dried food, because if you don't, and you're not going to want to leave. So there's food there, but for your nighttime meal, your evening meal, there's not a lot still open after the summit.
Yeah. All right, so one more thing here if you have someone who's doing it and you want to get someone who's thinking about doing it, they've gotten a few jars, they've gotten stuff, but they haven't really taken, something else can help push them over the edge. The nice, good, heavy-duty jars out by manufactured by
Superb.
Yeah, it's just Superb selling it, but they're manufactured for them by
Fillmore Container, I believe.
Fillmore Containers, yes. The Fillmore Container does the glass. Superb does the lids and rings.
Yeah, and they're to higher standards. I don't know the specs. I trying to think here, but they're to higher specifications than the other well-known company that I shall not name that is more common.
Ooh, I like those. Wait. What's that black plastic? What are those? Jar drying rack.
It's a jar. When you order, and some of them are white up there, but when you order the jars in the case, that it comes with that drying rack. So that drying rack, you could drop that box from 10 feet and your glass jars will not break. It's cool. It's designed both as a protective packaging and then something you can use so you don't throw it away every time you order a case of jars.
Ooh. Hang on. Come on. Canning kit.
Yes.
Wow. Jeez. Those are some expensive tools.
But if you want to save 10%, use the code RebelCanners10. So you can save 10%.
Is that a Superb version of the All-American?
Yes.
Oh, they have their own version now. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Hey, Gunslinger Outdoors. Okay, so I
guess the patent ran out, so they can
Rebel Canners 10.
Rebel Canners 10. You save 10% on your order.
All right, there it is. I'm putting it in there. That's the
promo
code, whatever.
And I do get that. That is an affiliate code, so I will get a percentage of whatever you use that code.
So as you can see, it has jars.
What you just did there. Talk to me.
So you get 3 jars, tools and stuff. This is just a beginner pressure canning kit. And of course, the way the prices of some of these things are everywhere else, it's probably everywhere else has passed this already for just the canner.
Yeah, that's a baby canner. How many? Looks like it only holds like 7 pints.
It's just a 910. It's just a very small, basic canner.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry, I'm on the page of Go Big or Go Home.
Go big, go home.
2 monster canners.
But to get started, that would be perfect for someone, especially if they had a small family. If you don't have a
and
large
especially
garden.
if they're just exactly. If they're just canning out of their garden or their little blueberry. They can count chocolate with blueberries. Blueberry or strawberries, or they have a single apricot tree or peach tree in their yard. Yeah. So let me check one other thing here. Come on. Fiddling around with me here. I'm just going to check something out here down in the bottom here. All right. Still out of stock for the 930. And out of stock for the 41.
That's the big one.
That's you said go big or go home.
Right. Well, I got 2 930s and 2 925. So, because my burner, I could do 2 pots at a time, but my smaller burner will not get the 930 up to pressure, but it'll bring a 925 up to pressure. So I'll do a 925 and a 930 at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So the that 910 from Superb is, let me double check this, make sure you're giving out proper information. Okay, it's about the same price as the 930 on Amazon. They got they have the Superb one on Amazon. For $349 for the 9. Oh, that's a 930 one on Superb one on Amazon, where the other one was the 910.
Personally, I love the colored ones. I don't know why. It just reminds me of the one my mom had, especially the yellow one. The blue is very pretty. My favorite is the black, though, the gray.
Yeah, I'd be going for the orange one. That's my color.
Are you going to go with the orange one and paint the handle green?
No, orange and black. That was my my Snap-on tool. My Matco toolbox was orange and black. That's my color scheme. My car that I redid the motor in.
There you go. There's all
was orange and black.
That's actually not all the colors. They do have a breast cancer awareness pink. But I think you can only order that through Layman's Hardware in Kidron, Ohio.
Yeah.
Can I send them my canner and have them on the outside?
One of those colors jumps out. That's something my mom would have gotten back in the 70s.
Avocado green.
You got that right. Early 70s, avocado green.
And my mom had the yellow one in the 70s. That's why I love my yellow one, too. I have the yellow, the blue, and the gray.
All Americans? That old?
No, that new.
Prestos. No, that new. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, all American. Yeah, the new colored ones. I have 3. I have the yellow, the gray, and the blue.
You're making me look like a crap. I don't know what you're making me look like. I don't have enough canners now.
And I have two silver ones too.
Yeah, stop.
Let's see. I got 2 canners here, 1 All-American, 21 quart, and the Presto that was my mom's 21 quart, and my wife has the 21 quart All-American in California. I think she has a little bit smaller one there.
I got my mom's Presto. I think it's a Presto. I'm not sure what it is. All I know is the gauge sits back at an angle. Still works. It's from the 50s or 60s. I think it was my grandmother's. And I have no. It's mine. I'm keeping it, not getting rid of it. But I probably won't be using it anytime soon. But at some point, it will get put on a nice shelf where everybody can see it.
Yeah. So, and besides all the canning stuff, the canning equipment, you can actually can and give away, jars of soups, stews, whatever. If you know that they like a favorite recipe of yours, you can can it for them and give it to them and waken their eye and make them go, you can can this? This is great. I have a canning utensil set that includes a timer. Does that count? Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
You need at least a timer. 1, if not 2.
Oh, I just thought of something. If you have a friend who is a canner and they're always complaining about having to stick around the kitchen, they don't dare leave the kitchen when they're doing stuff. If they got a smartphone, there are remote cameras that you can link to the smartphone via Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and you can set that camera up, aiming at the gauge and stuff, so that they can go out, run outside, do something real quick, and come back in.
Well, yeah, that's fine. You're gonna do something quick, but
it's still good. It's still good. It's still good.
You ain't going to the store.
No, you ain't going to the store. But you can go outside in the yard and chase the kids in, chase the neighbor's dog off.
Grab some more stuff out of the garden for the next load.
Exactly.
Or you just do like I do. You borrow. It's like, honey, you're not using your phone right now, your iPhone, and I FaceTime her phone, and I just watch the thing on FaceTime while I'm sitting 20 feet away on the deck with the door open, so I can hear the jiggle anyway, because I don't like to walk away from it. Period.
So I got my phone, which is my phone. I have my non-phone, which has no SIM card in it, but it will Bluetooth and it will Wi-Fi to the house network, but I haven't done that yet. But this is what I used to film, what I'm using lately to film my videos on.
Right.
So you pick up one of these cheap, off of Amazon or off at Best Buy or wherever, and you just hook it up that way too. I've been really looking at some comments. Yeah, I think they're talking about how things have been off since back in September. I think it was a little bit farther before September that things started feeling off to me, but yeah, it's just like there are certain things I do not have the get up and go to do, but I should got. I have other things I really want to do. Interest change. You just you don't realize it. Subtle changes. Your interest change, adversity, whatever, and other people's interest change. That kind of throws the whole world off. And that person's not doing what they're supposed to be doing all the time.
My interests have been continually changing with food for the past 20 years.
No, my interest.
Went from just cooking to dehydrating, and that was great for years. And then I got into canning, and that was great, still great. I don't stop doing any of them. I just keep adding to my arsenal.
Yeah.
And like right now I'm on a quilting binge, but I always do that right at Christmas. I always make some things or have things to give, or so I haven't been cooking as much, so I haven't had as many videos.
But today I went out and I bought 2 packages of chestnuts from the grocery store to plant. So hopefully I will have some chestnut trees to add to my food forest.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait a bunch of years for them to produce, but yeah.
I'm probably planning this for my grandkids anyway.
I about shot my foot off last week. Went to Joann Fabrics. That's my downfall. I go in there. I was looking for some vinyl, like heavy duty marine grade vinyl we use for a tablecloth, and I found the perfect one for my wife that she loves. It's like just glittery stuff. And of course, now I'm walking around the rest of the sewing department. I'm drooling on the sewing machines. This woman's I'm talking to her about, she's trying to sell me this $26,000 sewing machine that does everything. I'm like, this thing better go pick the material out and do everything by itself for that kind of money. She laughed. I'm like, I don't need one. I got a Singer. I have two Kenmores and a Singer. I don't need another sewing machine.
So, I just got a pop-up notification. Cold War Preppers book he's going over the nonfiction book club tonight is Preppers Workbook, Chapter 10, Fire and Wildfire, and Chapter 11, Civil Unrest. Those are what he's covering tonight. Boom, there it is. And so I'll be starting in about 25 minutes.
We could say.
So I was in Joann Fabrics today, and all of their fat quarters are buy one get one free. And then I had a $10 off coupon if I spent $40. So I spent $30.
I got lucky if you got a good eye as she's unrolling my 2 yards at $30 a yard for marine grade vinyl.
Oh,
I saw it go by and I see this little slice in the side. Like it was only about a half inch. And I was like, what was that? She's like, what was what? And I'm like, I'm pointing, and she was nice. And she rolled it back. I was like, that slice in the side there. She's like, oh crap. Well, I'll just cut it off there. I was like, well, before you do that, I said, I might be able to work around it. I knew I could work around it because it was in the binder on the side. It wasn't in the vinyl. I was like, what are you going to do with it? She's like, well, that was about a yard. We'll cut it off and just sell it on the clearance rack as a remnant. I was like, well, I could probably work. So just leave it on there and just finish the 2 yards out. She gave me the first yard at remnant price, which was 75% off. And then the other half at regular price. So yeah, I saved technically 50% on the whole order. And then I had a coupon for 10% off that I found in their paper. So yeah.
Yay.
Hey,
Yeah.
coupon. My wife taught me well.
Yep.
See if I can find some. I'm trying to find something here for you.
All their remnants are 75% off right now too. I picked the right day to go.
I used to be the weird guy. I was the only guy in there with a shopping cart load of bolts. Yeah. Walking over to the cutting table, and now I got like 18 women looking at me like, who's this weird guy wearing like this grubby t-shirt, a baseball hat, and not dirty, but just, used jeans, buying all this material. Now I'm talking to everybody about what I'm making and what I'm sewing. They're all like, you sew? I'm like, yeah, I learned when I was like 9. My mom gave me her Kenmore sewing machine, which is, I know her Singer, which will eat bobbins about every 2 hours for no reason. I just don't use it anymore because it's such a pain in the butt and send it out to get it fixed. They never fix it, and nobody can fix it anymore. So,
yeah, my repairman died, so hopefully nothing will happen to my sewing machine.
Yeah.
I was trying to find it. My wife, I was going through my wife's emails to me. She sent me pictures of all sorts of things. But she had made a quilt last year, a little wall hanging one that really wasn't a wall hanging. You hung it on the wall behind a sideboard. The little narrow little things in the kitchen and dining room stuff there, and it had pockets to put the jars in to keep it from moving around. So it had like tin pockets for quart jars in it that she quilted.
Cool.
So,
Well, I got some fabric when I was in Ohio that has all canning jars with food in it, and I'm going to make a canning mat. So I'm buying the heat resistant special heat batting. I'm going to put a couple layers in it, and that's what I'm going to have instead of a towel to put on my counter to set my jars on when they come out of the canner. So there's lots of gifts you can make for canning too.
hang on. Cabinet. Trying to look to see something here. There it is. 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 Okay. Talking about sewing machines. This here is this is a chair that pulls out for my mom's Necchi NECCHI sewing machine. And here's some other ones, but hers is a dark colored one. And it pulls out, that top board flips open, and you lift the machine up. Something sort of like that. But this is a little bit different one. But they're not showing any of them open. There it is being. So one of these is what I learned to sew on back in the 60s.
My father got rid of my mom's, and she was angry. The old Blackfoot. Oh yeah.
Don't do that.
Well, it was in the attic, and she hadn't used it in 20 years, and that was, I think, the last thing he ever gave away of hers that she didn't know about, and then found out about it. And then when they moved, now we realize why they built a house so big for two people. She never got rid of anything.
All right, what year was she born?
38. Oh, I know. Oh, my sister and I had this discussion why she didn't get rid of anything. She literally had the very first check she sent to pay a bill at Sears Roebuck. Get this, for $380 in 1957.
Ooh, that
was a lot of money, but she had the canceled check, refused to get rid of it because somebody might steal her identity. And my sister, we didn't know about it. She did that with everything. Every single bill she ever paid, she had the check stapled to it and put in a file box. And we went through hundreds. Now we realize why it cost so much to move and why mom and dad needed like 6 people to help move all this stuff. We didn't know what it was.
You just boxes.
Then we found out what it was, and we had to clean the house out. My sister and I were livid.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. Yeah, let's see what else for Christmas gifts related canning wise.
So I'm working on wedding gifts for my friend's daughter and her new husband. I drove all the way to New York State to make them cowboy candy because I gave them a couple jars. They loved it. I drove up there, tried to show him how to do it. It was pointless, so I just did it. And then his daughter asked me if I could do cowboy candy pickled red onion slivers. I was like, yeah, I can do that. So after I made the cowboy candy, I had the brine left over, and I just added some more sugar just to make the flavor there. And I thinly hand shaved about 10 pounds of red onions, cried the whole time, threw them in the pot. Those 8 pints of red onions were gone in 2 weeks. They're like, oh my God, we can't get enough of those. You need to make more. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he just got married, so I promised him I'd make him cowboy candy and cowboy pickled red onions. And yeah, so I got to do that. I'll go up there in like January, February and just do it at their house. I'll leave the jars there. Never get those back. I ain't worried about it.
Yeah.
Another item for the Christmas wish list. Somebody gave me a vacuum sealer, and I absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
The new ones now just are tiny. They're just you just put them on the jar, and it's rechargeable with my USB port. It is so handy.
Oh, for sealing jars.
Yes. So then all those soup mixes in a jar, cookies in a jar, muffins in a jar, bread mix in a jar. I think I've done videos on all of those. You can just seal them. Because you don't can them. They're all dry items. Seal them with those little vacuum. Yep. Just like that one.
Yep.
Those things are the handiest.
Price drop. A little bit. Yeah. Okay. So, this is the one.
This is my VacMaster 230. I actually made the mistake. Well, not a mistake. I put 4 pint jars of, I forget what it was, dry something in my vacuum sealer, which you can do it. Your VacMaster, the chamber sealer. I put them in there and I ran it for, I think, 45 seconds. And when it sealed, I just set the seal time for 0 because I'm not sealing the jars. I mean, I'm not sealing bags. And when it let the air back in, it collapsed the lids. It was that strong. I was like, oh, good thing it didn't break the jars. So, yeah, let's turn that time down to about 25 seconds instead of 45 seconds. Not worry about crushing the contents in it. And if it's sealed, I have a couple I could barely get open. And I got some strong fingernails and a knife, and I have to poke a hole in the lid and just sacrifice the lid to let the air back in there because it'll just yank the life out of it.
And this is the one I picked. I put in my wish list after watching Brett and Amy Boussard talk about it. This is a brake bleeder, and this is the jar sealer that you can hook up to the brake bleeder.
It's just a vacuum gun, but yeah.
So when the power's out, you can still vacuum seal jars.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Very handy. Or if you're off grid and don't have a place to charge your USB.
Yeah. All sorts of cool things.
Just plug it into the oak tree. It'll charge.
All right. Checked off says any particular brand of vacuum sealer.
I wish I think it's Green Harvest is the one that somebody sent it to me.
Yeah.
I'd have to look. I did a video on it for them.
Yeah. You just put in electric mason jar vacuum sealer, and you get cordless add cordless or whatever, and it should. There we go. Here we go. All sorts of ones to choose from.
You got electric ones. There's ones that you can hand pump.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them out there. And you got to watch because, look at that. It has 5-star rating with 2,000 reviews and they're all 5-star. Yeah. Not always the case, especially if they're a new seller. You can buy a bot to put in reviews for you.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, I have the one. I bought the adapters that go on my my vacuum sealer machine, where you just plug the hose in there and run it in jar mode, and it'll do the same thing. I mean, it was cheaper than buying that, and I always have the vacuum sealer kicking around anyway. So
yeah, we got a couple of vacuum sealers. I have one here. My wife has one in California. My daughter has one across the street. Yeah, so we have vacuum sealers around.
I can vacuum seal in my freeze dryer.
Yeah. And Baby Rhodey came in on your side there, Tammy.
Thank you.
Or dating.
I could put 4 half-gallon jars in my freeze dryer. Just got to take the shelf out, go into engineering mode, and just shut the door and turn the vacuum on, and let it run however long I want, and then just shut it off, let the air back in, and then it'll vacuum seal half-gallon jars 4 at a time. It just takes like 10 minutes, but when I'm doing freeze-dried red onions in half-gallon jars, it definitely makes it easier.
I'm just saying.
I did not know you could do that. I learned something.
There's all kinds of fun things you can do with that. We'll talk when you buy one.
I drooled all over one in Claire. They have they're like changing models from whatever to a new store model.
Yeah, the 4 shelf to the 5 shelf. Yep.
Yeah, and so they have it marked way down, and I was drooling on it. And you know,
What'd they have it down to? Like 1,200?
I don't remember. I really didn't look at the price because I had no money with me. So if it had been $1, I couldn't have bought it. I just went along for the ride. But I was just drooling on it while I was, because it's right where you have to wait to check out. So my friends were checking out. I was in line with them. It's right there.
Of course it is.
Where I always stop when in the line. So you can't like avoid it. So I just, kissed it and hugged it and told it that someday one of them will be mine.
Must have been a Harvest Right.
It's Harvest Right, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 4 tray because they're not doing the 4 trays anymore. They're only doing the 5 trays, which are fine, but the spacing is shallower, so you can't really go above the level of the tray now. I can go above the level of my tray with 4, and but whatever. There's a whole bunch of. Everybody has their reasons. I have mine. I like my 4 tray one. I'm good.
Yeah, maybe I have to get one before they switch out. I'll put it on my Christmas wish list.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll always check with them because they'll get they'll take someone will upgrade and they'll turn in the other one for a discount on the new one, and then they service it and sell it as refurb. Refurb. Yeah, refurbished, not remanufactured.
You get refurbs all the time because people get it and they get it delivered like by a shipping company, and it's got a dent in the case. They send it back.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Yeah, whatever. I know it doesn't look pretty anymore. Well, I'm not into it for pretty. I'm into it for functionality. So the more dents, the better. As long as it still works, you're going to knock some money off of it for me. Sure. Knock $400 off of it. I won't send it back to you. That just save your shipping cost, and you can credit me $400 back.
Check off. I don't believe you can. I believe there's the built-in cooling stuff that the rack sits on. Is that right?
Wait, you talking about the freeze dryer?
Yeah, right there. The comment that's on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you don't have to put just because it handles 4 trays. I do 2 and 3 trays sometimes.
But you can't stack up high.
I have a high. No, you can't. No, the tray itself, you can only put so much height in there. But certain things you don't want to go that high anyway.
Good.
But no, I've put 2 trays in there and done just 2 trays, and it goes a little quicker because there's less water load. Although when I do 2 trays, usually it's a heavy water load like soup, and it's a lot of water to get stuck to the freezer drum, and if I do 4 trays, you get other problems.
I'm looking at the time here. It's time to get ready to go out. Once again, Cold War Preppers coming up here in about 8 minutes. So, Tammy, you going to try going live this week?
No.
Okay.
No.
Mark, are you going to try to go live this week?
No.
All right. So coming up tomorrow night on my other channel, Gray Man Prepping with an A. The topic is Christmas gifts for the unprepared. So you have relatives, friends at work, friends around, whatever, that aren't prepared. We're going to be talking about cute things that you can give them, such as, hang on, a little flashlight with battery and hook on it that you can get at Harbor Freight, sometimes for free, just for going in with the coupon. But you can go, you can give out all sorts of fun things. 1 year, that's all my wife and I did for all of her family. They all got a 5-gallon bucket full of emergency preparedness stuff. That's tomorrow night on Tactical Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping. Thursday is the Midnight Ride with Gray Man Prepping, open chat. Friday, back here for Friday, is hunting for food for your family. This is going to be the topic this coming Friday. And then Saturday on Survival Saturday on Gray Man Prepping, prepared for extreme cold. That was a viewer request. And then next Monday, here on the Monday Night Fireside Chat, it's going to be Family Kitchen Time. So this will be kind of an open chat about what it was like for your family in the kitchen. I know in our family, we had a kitchen table. And so we're going to be talking about that stuff then. Oh, by the way, How to Garden came in.
Right at the last minute.
Yeah. So that's what's coming up for the next week here. If you have any topics you want to see added to the list for either for Gray Man Prepping or Camp Patton Family Compound, down at the bottom of the description of all my videos, there'll be the email address. You can just send a description to, say, why don't you talk about this? And I was thinking about this is the kind of the lane I wanted to go on it that I want information on, and we will be be happy to do it. All righty. So everyone, don't get depressed this holiday season. All right. It could be worse. You could be related to Biden. All right, everyone. See you later.
Have a good night, sorry, my